Okay, honey. I'm I'm live now on YouTube, so I'm going to wait a few minutes for few people to turn up, and then I shall talk to you tomorrow. Then, okay, okay, right, yeah, okay. Hopefully, we might hear in the next week about the visa. Okay, we start in a minute. Yeah, so if you can, I'll try and keep the pressure on, with the visa company. Okay. And lads, just wait a few more minutes, just get a few more on you. This is the first one, obviously I've done for a while, so it's going to take a while. Tony Matthews, hey mate, hope the family. Yeah, I'm just speaking to Noprat now. 12 o'clock, the baby's 12 o'clock in Thailand. The baby can't sleep. But there you are. Oh yes, Tony, that link. Well, I haven't used it yet, but we'll obviously something to look at, Who's coming on now? We got Martin. Hiya, Martin. Have you ever fished Seven Meadows on the Avon? Yeah, I have. Yeah. I find it a bit peggy, to be quite honest with you, but okay. Yeah, below the weir, that's where you want to be, don't you? I'm not know if they're going to put that bit in, but I remember a bag coming out on an area which don't normally fish. So yeah, I have fished it, but I think you need to find out a bit more local information, really, where the fish are. So, David, I am mate. I'm looking to come to the UK next fishing for my 50th. Okay, want to stay a week? What's the best commercial that accommodates? You're coming from Dublin, you? Okay. Well, I don't know. Whiteacres always seems to be one of the favourites, isn't it? That's down the south. There's loads up the Midlands, mind. There's loads of commercials up there. I think it might be a good idea if you message me, and maybe I can do a little bit of research for you and find out, because I'm not a commercial man myself, But I know a few people, obviously, in the know, so I can find out for you, like. Okay, Noprat. Hello, Noprat. I'm going now. I'll speak tomorrow or later. Okay. Okay then. Night then. Night. There you are. Right, she's off. Okay. So, all right, David, you're welcome. Good night now. Yeah, well, she's gone now. So anyway, it's a marvelous thing, isn't it? Technology these days, and talking to people, messenger. I remember talking to a couple of anglers when mobiles first come out. They thought it was a bit unfair that we could all communicate along the bank when it comes to competitions. So people know, but hey, it is what it is, like this day and age. James Flynn, how are you, mate? How are you? Okay. Stuart Gordon, how are you, mate? Stuart from Middlesbrough. Have you ever fished the River Tees? No, I haven't, mate. That's one place I haven't. No, no, it's a bit too far, a bit far afield for me. That is, to be quite honest with you, But yeah, again, it's if you want me to find out more information, I mean, are you from that area? Well, you're from Middlesbrough, aren't you? So yeah, that'll be a bit further up, I think. No, it's not a venue I can actually recommend. I can't even. I don't really know anyone who fishes it, so I can't even put you in touch with anyone. Sorry about that one, but nice question anyway. Kevin Rogers, mate. If you were elasticating a whip, would you have a light elastic or um, one set on the tight side? Right. Now, to be honest, if you fish a whip, I think you need to be on the tight side because the last thing you want to do is have loads of elastic out because you haven't got a pole that you can actually, add to it to play a fish. So you got to take your chance. Now, believe it or not, the Italians, they never used, well, I don't know if they use elastics now, but they never used to elasticate their whips and their tips. They would just use a soft flick tip. And I tell you what, I saw them, well, me and a couple of lads, we're fishing I can't think of the water now, but there was barbel. They were catching double figure barbel, right? Well, maybe I exaggerate double figures, but they were good 6-7 pounds. And they were hooking them on the whip and they were landing them in no time at all. They weren't letting them run off, because you get a fish with a head of steam and off they go, unless you shifting poles out. So with a whip, they hooking it, bring it to the surface and netting it, and it was in, so yeah. So I would personally, I would tend to get a soft tip, but no, elasticated is fine because you got less chance of bumping fish off, because we elasticate our whips, on the wide, don't we? When we're fishing with bleak. So, but and you do get the odd big fish that'll pull it. So yeah, I wouldn't have a soft. No, I'd keep it tight if I was you. Okay, so that's a good question. Anyway, first of all, thanks for the guys who's on here at the moment, and welcome, greetings and welcome, because this is my first vlog for 7-8 months. And the reason being, as you all know, I've been to Thailand and went to see the wife and the baby, which I hadn't seen for 2 years because of the COVID. And of course, the problem is, I tried to get them back here. They want to come back. We managed to get the visa for the wife, but we can't get it for the baby. Now, we're talking about, 3 months now, over 3 months, and still waiting. Like Tony said early on, he gave me a link, and apparently they can get a passport within 5 weeks. Well, I don't know. I've been waiting 10 months for my baby's passport. And so when they come over here, Anyway, talking about Thailand, it was great. It was good. I mean, I went there. I met Tony. Actually, Tony was over there. And there are quite a few expatriates. And Billy Macon, you probably know Billy, a lot of you, or you know of him. And Billy, well, he was, he don't like fish now these days, although he did sort of have a little go last year. Unfortunately, he fell over in his bar. I don't know whether he's sober or at the time, but anyway, he's damaged his elbow. He was saying he can't lift his arm now, so he's got a problem. But he's a wealth of information, great fun to be with. And anyway, I don't know if he's watching this. I'm probably a bit late for him now, but I hope you're doing well, Bill. And as I said, there's quite a few expats over there, and we did get a bit of a match fishing circuit going, but unfortunately, it died a bit of a death this time round. They're more into catching big fish, and I suppose, with the heat, and you can't really keep the fish in the nets, really, not like you can back home. What we used to do is weigh them individually and then add up the score at the end. That was the way around it. But apart from that, as I say, it's a great place to be anyway. Put it on your bucket list if you ever want to go. Hopefully, when my wife comes back or comes here from Thailand, she can hopefully stay a bit longer. Because she likes the fishing as well. Anyway, I got a sneeze coming. Excuse me. Right. So yeah, so that was the scene in Thailand, and I did extend it a bit longer than I wanted to, but I made sure I got back here for the 16th to fish the open river season, and I'm glad I've come back. I've only fished a couple, mind at the moment, because I'm still getting back into the swing of things, and I'm still waiting for things to settle down, because usually the first 2 weeks of all the seasons, as far as I can remember, was always a bit iffy. Like, I did fish a match down at Port Talbot. You might have seen the blog or the vlog, I should say, which I put up. By the way, I'm just uploading my latest vlog, which I fished yesterday on the Avon, so that will be up for a bit later. So anyway, so that was good. Also, as I said, I mentioned Port Talbot. That's gone really downhill, unfortunately. I can't see me going back there too many times now, because the fishing not only gone bad, but the pike problems they got. Now, I know this time of year, I don't know if everyone knows the season of how the fish spawn, but usually it's the perch and the pike first, and then after that they're ravenous and they're waiting for the roach and the rudd to feed and at the breed so they can feed off them, and it's a vicious circle in a sense. So it's not a very good time of year for pike at the moment, of course, and in the winter when the fish are not so lively, they're also on the prowl as well. But the Port Talbot dock at the moment, it's a nightmare trying to bring fish in. Now, I did mention it before about how to avoid pike if you've got a fish on, and that was to bring the fish in very slowly, because the pike, you fool the pike into thinking that it's healthy, it's not in stress. It's only when it's in stress that the pike will attack, if you've noticed, And anyway, as I said, try it if you got the guts to bring a fish in very slowly, right? You got less chance of a pike attack. I'm not saying you will, because you might still get attacked by a pike, but they are becoming a nuisance, not just Port Talbot, but everywhere. I mean, even the Wye these days, there's big crocodiles, and it's a bit of a nuisance, really. Anyway, I was hoping that maybe I could have fished a few more rivers. Since the start of the season. What's the date now? It's the 27th, so it's only just about 2 weeks now, isn't it? I might go local tomorrow anyway. If I do, I'll make a little vlog of my local river. That would be interesting. But lots have been happening. When I was in Thailand, I obviously had lots of time on my hand, and I started writing a few books. You probably know I've already produced them. Complete handbook of fishing. That's everything from float fishing to species and methods and techniques. Available from Amazon. And that took me, a few months to sort of put together. I also had a lot of people asking me about the River Wye. And I thought, well, I put together a fishing guide, by the way, as well, Fishing Guide Wales. Now, this is a fabulous book. I mean, it's over 600 venues, all full color. It's available from Amazon. It's $14.95, but it's got a detailed description of where to go fishing in Wales, how to get there, GP maps, and a map how to actually find a venue. So yeah, I've got a couple of border counties like Cheshire and Herefordshire. And anyway, when I was doing the article on Herefordshire, I noticed that obviously the River Wye starts in Wales, goes into England, and goes back into Wales. A little bit like the Severn. Severn does exactly the same. Well, anyway, what I thought I'd do is write a book about, or a guide, because this is a big book to go through, So I thought I'd get a guide just for the River Wye, but I thought I'd add the River Usk to it as well. Now, the River Usk is a fabulous little river, very similar to the Wye. It's in the Wye Valley. And again, this is in color, but there's a black and white version. The color one is a bit more expensive. The black and white is not, but it gives you all the details, where to go, where to get your tickets from, and even the reason I put this together is for coaching. So if anyone fancies going on the Wye for a coaching day, then they can pick up the book. I've also got a website as well. You can go to the website. Of course, it's free on the website. But there you are. That's another book from Amazon as well. So as I say, I've been quite busy. When I was away, always thinking about fishing as you do. Um, and when I come back, I also come up with the idea. Um, the Angling Times, I think, is the only weekly paper around now these days. It's a couple of monthly ones. So then I thought I would, I'd make or put together a monthly magazine, and I got 3 issues out already. The fourth one is coming out in a couple of days' time, July the 1st. Um, and it's I think it's good value for money because you're talking 80 to 100 pages, um, full color. It's got all sorts of reports, um, columns in there. Basically, people have helped me put it together through the match fishing and the specimen fishermen. I got a little bit of sea fishing, a little bit of game fishing in there as well. So again, available from Amazon, only $5.99. This one, the England team. Well, that was the first issue. That was when was that? That was in April, May. Then out come June, and then unfortunately we lost a very good angler, a good old friend of mine, Dave Vincent. So I brought a special issue out, and basically, dedicated this to him. Again, 80 odd pages, no, 100 pages. This one is, and it's got everything from all the reports. You might even be on here. You never know, because a lot of this information I get, although I ask for permission, they are, if you like, public domain. So, like the Fishermania, Jamie Hughes, what an angler, fabulous, for his discipline. The England team announced for the World European Championships. Well, that was 2 months ago, and lo and behold, what did they go and do? They just only gone and won it, which is fantastic, I think. Let's get back to a couple of questions first. Anyway, if I could carry on. Okay. Oh, what's that? Kevin, stick to the last line. Oh, thank you very much. Kevin Ruggs. Yeah, you have to agree. Yeah, okay. Tony, that's good of you. As I say, it is a shame. As I say, Thailand's gone away. It has, with the match fishing, but never know. They might come back again. So, what can I say about the England team? Right. Well, they were in a good position after the first day, actually, only lying second, and they were only 2 points behind, Portugal. No, I'm quite surprised that they actually overturned Portugal, but they did, and Portugal came fourth, and England beat them by 1 point. And Will Raisin, what an angler. I mean, I remember Will as a youngster when I used to fish the World Champs. He just came in on the scene, and I got a picture somewhere with me, with my arm around him. And I said, a future world champion. Well, he's proved to be that. He's not only has he won the World Champs, but he's done very well in the Europeans. It's a shame there was only 11 teams this year, but it doesn't matter. It's still the prestige of it. What can I say about Wales? Well, last but one again. They did win it the other year, mind, but I don't know what happened this year. When it comes to that sort of level, it's not luck. It's all really down to how much effort you put in. And I know Mark Downs praises his team because they're a young team who put a lot of effort into it, and fair dues to them. I've been following them now, and following their week training and so on, and their dedication is really good. It reminds me when Dick Clegg had his lot together many years ago, and the dedication and the information they had, and they used to share it. And that's the secret in team fishing, is sharing your information. Because if you can share it, you become as one, and you become a lot stronger. And fair dues, Max seem to have got this lot together, and be interested what they'll do in the World Champs, because obviously that's a different kettle of fish. Of course, in my day, there was only the one World Championships, and the Europeans just started then. So I didn't really get involved in the European Championships. But of course, this day and age, it's a bit fragmented because you've got the masters, you've got the veterans, you got disabled, you got the cab, you got the feeders, so there's quite a lot of different world championships around these days. But of course, in my day, there was only the one. And that was very important, to do well in, and you know, in a short space of time, I was only in the setup for about 8 or 9 years, but we achieved lots of things. Team gold, me individual gold, individual silver. I won the second day a few times, in Hungary and so on. So yeah, I had a great run in my short period of world championships. I know what it's like. The feeling is absolutely out of this world. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of these guys will never experience that. But take it from me. It's to represent your country and to go on and actually do well and win. Then that's something else. So anyway, so that was quite interesting as well, because talking about the veterans. They had a third. Well, wasn't the actual because they got two classes, haven't they? Over 60s and over 50s. Now the over 50s, they didn't do too well. It was Tommy Pickering. I'm surprised. I thought they might have done a bit better than that. But the over 60s done very well. Now there's a bit of controversy. I don't know if you all know what happened, but Bob Nudd was in the squad, and he didn't get picked for the first day. And unfortunately, now there's two sides to the story, because I don't know if you all know, but Bob is a great angler, probably one of the best anglers ever. Age catches up with us, and I know he's 77, 78-ish, and I know that he is suffering a little bit with arthritis. Now, for somebody in their late 70s, coming up to 80s, to run the bank, I don't think it's you can't ask somebody to do that, can you? Not at that age, All right, you can be there, you can give him moral support, but really, at the end of the day, I heard that Bob basically said, well, his point is he didn't want anyone to get dropped, because if you fish the first day, you shouldn't drop them because they come last. I think you should still keep the same squad, and because you got the experience then, and the second day you can come good. It's like Steve Hemingway, this Hemingway on this European. What did he come about 6th or 7th in his section? But Mark kept with him, and what happened? He won his section the second day. So that's what happens, and so I can understand Bob's point of view, and I can also understand the manager's point of view. Probably Dickie Carr thinking, well, he's let the team down. Well, I don't think he did. He was there, and but anyway, they did secure a bronze medal. So anyway, hey, you never know. Might be something I might enter next year if I can get the go ahead from the Welsh setup. But it's all down to money. That's the trouble, isn't it? Cool. It's about money. Cost of traveling these days. I can see more local matches now rather than going away to these big opens. As I said, I went to Evesham yesterday, and again, I had a traveling partner, which helped me to keep the cost of the fuel down a little bit. But even so, it adds up at the end of the day, doesn't it? Right. Right. Oh, says Graham. All right, Graham. I think the World Float Champs were the most prestigious. Yeah, I agree. Because I tell you, finish to say that, Graham, because I know years ago there was talk about having a feeder champs many years ago, and other types of championships, but or allow feeder or ledgering, but SIPs at the time said no. The art of fishing is float fishing, and they made the rules so that you couldn't even lay on. You couldn't even go over depth, really, although they do. But there's ways around that, of course. And they always stipulated that float fishing is the best, is an art. I'm not saying there's an art in feeder fishing, because there is, casting and feeding and what you put in the bait and into the feeder and how you do it. Yeah, so there is a skill in that, and like there is a skill in anything really, in carp fishing or whatever. But I think at the end of the day, yeah, Graham, you are right. It's more prestigious to win the float, and even today. I mean, when is it now? September this year. I'm not sure if Wales got a team in it this year. I hope they have, but it's a shame if they haven't. But anyway, that's as I say, great fun, and it's a great prestigious to actually be part of it and actually do well. Anyway, so talking about um, the world champs, of course, in this issue, front page is going to be England. All right, I don't have a Welshman, but I love England. I mean, all my fishing's in England mainly, isn't it? Although I suppose when it comes to internationals, I'm always like, same with rugby in it and things like that. But at the end of the day, we're all fellow fishermen as far as I'm concerned, and obviously that competitions on the bank, isn't it? Where we fish against each other, we try to beat each other or win. But as I say, I can't. With the cost of fuel these days, it might be a bit more difficult to do the traveling that I had been doing. Fishing 3-4 opens, a week. So now I might just, go down to where I'll keep my vlogs going, and hopefully, it'll be of interest and people can still learn. Because as I said, what we got? I got 55, 60 years of fishing behind me. So, um, I've learned a lot, and I'm more prepared to pass it on to people. And in fact, I'm always learning myself. So people can always give me tips as well sometimes. Um, so anyway, I've got to just plug my my magazine in again because I get some good feedback. Uh, I run little competitions inside, spot the float, and little quizzes. I even got a page 3 girl. Nothing too explicit, of course, just a bit of laugh, a bit of fun. Yeah. I also had news about the Angling Trust, what they're up to. Got to keep an eye on them because I know I just talked to somebody earlier about it. About the wages that they all earn. It's our money, isn't it? So they are, if you like, responsible. So anyway, so I do a little bit about it. Also, I'm very keen at following pollution as well. I'm always writing a little bit about pollution, how it's affecting us, and as anglers, if we're not careful, if we don't keep on top of it, then I'm afraid the future is going to be quite grim. Um, we're having problems now with the why. It's a silent killer what's happening there with all the chicken farms, basically all the the nitrates going into the water. You can't see it. All you can see is there's no um, life anymore in the rivers. All the weed is dying, and that's the natural, which holds the natural food for the fish. And I did mention, in an article, and I know people thought I was a bit screwed, about it. But I can remember many, many years ago when our river Taff here was full of fish, full of roach, and all of a sudden, all the fish above the weir disappeared. Well, they were disappearing. All the fish below the weir, there was loads of them. We were catching huge bags. A little bit like what happens on the River Wye at Belmont. You go there in the winter and it's absolutely stuffed with fish. You go above it, you don't catch that many. And you go way below it, you don't catch that many. You will catch, but not like you do at Belmont, which makes me wonder whether the same thing is happening there that happened on the River Taff many years ago. But saying that, I mean, we travelled past the Wye, the lower Wye, yesterday on the way back from Evesham, and we did look at water, and there was a bit of stream, a bit of a weed growing. So maybe, who knows? Fingers crossed. Excuse me. Right. Okay. Who's this? Oh, Kevin. All right, mate. What's your opinion of the telescopic bollow? Okay. Rods, Clive, they seem to be quite popular. Daiwa, connoisseur, etc., being popular. Well, Kevin, all I can say is the bolly, it's not new, right? And they were out when I was fishing, 30 years, 35, 40 years ago. The Italians were the first ones to bring out the bolly because I don't know if you know how the bolly, well, it comes from the river Bolognese or the city Bolognese, and that's they call it the bolly rod because they used a pole and they just put telescopic whip long poles. They put eyes on it and use it as a rod, and that's how the bolly rod sort of come to being. Of course, things that act like the bolly floats and all that, all are derivatives from that, really, in a sense. But the reason is that the river at the Italians, it was, quite deep, 20-foot deep, and the way to do it, obviously, without using a slider, was a fixed float, and that's what they used. They used bolly floats. Well, bolly bolognese rods. Now the bolly rods become shorter. In fact, you can get 13, 14-foot bolly rods, and they're like little telescopic rods, and they're very good action these days. They do make them very light. I wouldn't say they're as good as a three-piece rod, only because maybe you haven't got that action, but some of them are very, very good. So now, knowing Daiwa, they obviously on top of their game. Now, you can buy Daiwa tackle, and it's it's a bit pricey, a lot of it. I think it's overpriced, but that's another debate, because I brought a couple of reels back from Thailand. They only cost me tenner each, and they're as good as I think as good as the Daiwa ones, which are costing 300 quid, like. But that's another story. But yeah, so if they have brought one out, Kevin, then I would think it's probably good. And yes, and yeah, bolly rods are pretty good, and I would definitely use them myself. I use Cadence at the moment. I've gone over. I used to use Drennan's, but Cadence is a lot cheaper, and all right, they're good. They're as good as any rods out there, as far as I can see. 13-foots, 14-foots, 15-foots. I used a 15-foot yesterday, actually, on in about 12 foot of water. I had a big stick on. So it's hopefully you might see a glimpse of that. On my vlog yesterday, I tried to use two cameras, if you like, and I don't know if it's quite worked out right, but anyway, it doesn't matter what I do. Some of you always say, "Oh, I could have done this, could have done that," and as I say, I'm no Johnny either. Johnny got it dead right. I mean, he sort of got cameras strapped to his body and on the landing net and on the sides, and you must take hours, because with my vlogs, when I get home, I just upload them and they're uncut almost, and they go on to YouTube. And John, I noticed when he does his, they're at least a week old, because he spends a lot of time editing and cutting out all the bits that he's not supposed to show you, like the tangles and things. I don't know about that. But anyway, the fact is that he makes a good vlog, and he's got a lot of followers now. So yeah, I'm happy with what I got, about 3,200, something like that. And I got my followers. He got his, but he's a good angler, because he does everything. Does commercials and naturals, where I just stick to mainly natural waters. So there you are. Oh, right, Kevin again. Yeah. On the downstream wind, is it best to sink the line when fishing the waggler? Yes. Right. There's a little technique in that, to be honest, Kevin. When you got a downstreamer, obviously the line is on the surface, you're going to get a big bow in the line, and even the top of the water sometimes will push faster than underneath. So the secret is there, right? To be honest, is to actually try and fish downstream. Don't fish sort of in front of you and down, but actually cast down, and then you eliminate the bow a little bit better. And you got a bit more control. And as I say, I don't mind fishing with a bow in the line, because as long as you strike it through the water, the bow is a buffer in a sense, and you still hook the fish. With the sharp hooks we use these days, as long as you're using them, sort of chemically sharpened hooks, you sort of hit them quite easy. So that would be the secret. And yes, you do need to sink your line. Now, I prefer, if I can get away with it, not to sink my line up with a waggler on a river. I like it almost like a stick float, almost like you keep it on top, and you can mend the bow, and you can have a little bow in it, of course. You're bound to, But and the reason is you got more control over it. It's simple as that, and you're more direct to the fish then when you get a bite. Yeah. So yeah, it's a good question, because yes, you definitely need to sink your line when you go wind. But if you haven't got wind, then you can get away without maybe not going, if you like, sinking it too much. When you fish lakes are the same. I know we used to fish Roe Park Lake, for example, and you sink your line. A couple of reasons is first of all the ducks. You don't want the ducks and the swans, but secondly, when you get a drift, sometimes you get like a snake in the line, not a bow, but a snake. So the line will be like a snake sometimes, only because the drift will be going that way on one section and going the other way on the other section. So therefore you need to keep it under the water, keep it tight to eliminate that snake in the line. And again, if you strike sideways, any bow or snake in the line will buffer, and you got a good chance of hooking the fish. So yeah, wagglers is my my number one method, as you know. Because I was the first one to win the World Championships fishing natural waggler fishing, and of course the year before that I was runner-up. And anyway, when I went to Portugal and Spain for a year or two, they used to call the waggler method the Branson method, which I thought was quite nice, for them to name that method after me, only because obviously that in those few years I'd done exceptionally well, Okay. But anyway, that's answered your question there. Okay, right, Kevin. On rivers. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, that's okay. I got to read it twice sometimes to understand it myself. Right, Tony Matthews. I got to go, my friend. Oh, so start tomorrow. Oh, okay. All right, nice to see you, Tony. All right, then see you later, maybe. And yeah. And when we meet up at Billy Makins, talk about Billy. He's actually written a nice article for me. For this month's magazine, and he mentions he's a good writer, Billy. He's I don't know, I probably showed you his books before, haven't I? Tits and Teeth and all that. Very good writer, Billy. Good lad. He's a good lad. Hello, Clive. I'm on YouTube at the moment. All right, Sam. Sorry, that's the chap we went fishing with yesterday, Clive Roberts. So, poor bugger, he got a lot of health issues, so I had to take him fishing, and we've, driving to Peg, which is a good thing about it. We can actually drive right to Peg, so there's no walking. And poor bugger, he just went to the doctor's today. He got, not only is he got gallbladder stones or something now, on top of all his other problems. So anyway, make the most of the lads when you're fishing, because you never know in the future. Right, Tony. Okay, you gotta go. Okay then. Oh, nice to see you. Hiya, John Wilkinson. Thanks, mate. Nice to see you as well. Oh, Mark Sweeney. What about to ask? What's that? What about to ask how, Clive? Oh, Mark. By the way, yeah. Don't worry, I've got your leaflet, which is going into the mag, free of charge, by the way. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Oh, and talking about that, I do this species chart, and that's an illustration painted by a famous artist, and we got the whole gamut of species of fish. And so when you buy the magazine, you can actually cut that out, put it in a frame, and you can get a collection of all the fish. So yeah, so I was mentioning that to a couple of lads because that's what's missing in the marketplace is a magazine or fishing, a little bit like the Angling Times in a way, but a bit like the Angler's Mail. Now, I've written this in such a way as how I would want to buy a book. I want to know all the latest information. I want to see reports. I want to see pictures. I want to see articles written by other people, and amusing things. Amusing photos. Jokes. Tips page. I do a tips page, which I do a full illustration on tips as well. So yeah. So anyway, that's my plug-in over. $5.99 from Amazon. Just check out Clive Branson, and you should come across it. Okay, right. I do. I have got permission off a few of them to actually a few good anglers, as well as the match angling side of it. Also, I've got a few other respected anglers. I got Jeff Cooper from he used to live in England. He's in Ireland, and he's just started writing a couple of articles. Just written one now about slider fishing. That's quite interesting because we all got different ways of slider fishing, and his seems quite good. He got nice little tips on there, so that's definitely worth watching. As I said, Billy Makin's done an article as well, but I've also got reports from Des Taylor, for the carp bank, Julian Cundiff. He's another good angler. Couple of match anglers, Nick Speed, for example. I spoke to Tommy Pickering. He let me use his reports as well. So yeah, it's interesting. If you buy it, I hope you enjoy it. And as I say, what's this? Gray and Faith, great magazine, Clive. Well, thanks, Gray. You bought it. Well done, mate. Good. Yeah. As I say, I'm getting there. It's going to take time. I remember Dave Hall. I don't know if any of you lads remember Dave Hall. He passed away the other day, but he's the one who started a magazine. I remember his first magazine came out in a black and white, and it was a small A5, I think it was, if I remember. And anyway, he built up, and eventually he had a nice magazine similar to this. And and he went from strength to strength. He had Improve Your Course Fishing. He had as well as a match fishing one, of course. He had a few, and then he also went into horses and things like that, I think, and cars. I'm not sure, but but hopefully, if I can get anywhere, I mean, he used to sell 20,000 a month, 20. And if I can get it, if I can just get a fraction of that, I'd be happy. Just to cover my costs, because I don't make any money on it at this price, by the way. But who knows? It's all about volumes, isn't it? The more, the more you sell, obviously, every penny adds up then. Okay. Evening. Who's that? Oh, right. Tanny. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Anya. As I say, because this is my first one back, in a sense, it's lots, there's going to be a lot of catching up to do. Hopefully, a few of the lads will make some comments on the vlogs I put up. And, I like to get the feedback. I have actually, I just thought, I wonder how it would go if I put a sponsored link up. And thankfully, one of the guys, one of the subscribers, actually sent me a tenner. I thought that's really nice of him. And then it got me thinking, I wonder if I can get enough people to chip in to pay for my match fishing, and I split the winners with them. But then somebody pointed out I got to have a good run of draws to do that. Right. I know, because I worked it out, actually. Well, it was a good payout yesterday, by the way. Mark Bush won it. He hadn't fished for a few weeks. He goes in, he draws one of the bloody best pegs there, 51. And he's had £10, low weight, but he's had 190 quid. It went all the way down to sixth place, and sixth place picked up 100 quid. You'll have to watch the vlog because I was very unlucky. That's all I can say. Just very unlucky. So there you are. So as I say, I'm going to do a lot of catching up to do, and what I want to do on the vlogs, hopefully see you every Monday, if you got the time, that is. I don't know, a few of the guys I'll catch up later. If you want to leave questions, as for me to answer, I'll do it, and I can do it the following Monday, or I could even respond to you through Messenger, or even if you come to our website, or the fishing match fishing page. I think it's got 27,000 members, so quite a few people on there now. I got a few other pages. I got another personal one, but Facebook, I don't know, they blocked me. Maybe they don't like you to have too many Facebook pages, maybe. Yeah, because I had about 3,000 friends on that one. But I don't know. I don't understand the algorithms with it. They try to control you. That's all I can say. Anyway, talking about controlling, I don't know what coming to my head then, but when I had COVID over in Thailand, I actually had COVID. It only lasted 2 days, and thankfully. But I know a lot of the guys are catching COVID quite regular now, and they're getting over it within a week, aren't they? Don't seem to get so many people really ill with it now, do you? But I don't know, But that's another debate. I don't get into the politics sides of things because I want to stick to the fishing if I can. Um, oh, right. What's this? Yeah. Oh, best best to be lucky in Thailand. Yes, Graham, right there. Yeah. I mean, look. I mean, it was okay. It was okay. It was hot, 35 degrees every day. No season. It's not like you, and it's like you got your cold and the sun and the fish. Well, surprised me than anything that even though it's hot over there, 35 degrees, say, one drop in temperature can put the fish off. So the fish really stop feeding, and it's very similar, isn't it? Back here, you get a bit of rain or a bit of cold spell overnight, and it can affect the fishing, and then sometimes it turns it on. So it is very interesting. Let's say fish in other countries, and I think I don't know, maybe like the England team, they adapted very well. Apparently, Will was, I don't know if you've been following it, but Will Raisin, he was saying that it was like 40 degrees. No, that's hot. That is, and if that didn't affect the fishing, I don't know what would. It seems as though the hotter it is sometimes, the better the fishing. But then it can also have the adverse effect where the oxygen goes out the water, and then the fishing becomes quite bad. So again, that's something very interesting about thermals in water. Where fish are, at what levels. Especially and still in commercial waters. Not so much on rivers, although you do get blocks of water coming down a river. I don't know if you know this, but you do get a block of water which could be quite cold, and then the next block could be warm. You do get obviously sediments in the water as well, and of course this day and age with nitrates, you just don't know what's really go. But I was watching, as I say, I do follow pollution quite a lot, and I was watching this program the other evening on the television, and it was really showing where all the weed has died, and it's like a brown slurry, in the water, and that's not good, is it? No fish are going to live in that, or even insects that the fish eat. So it is a shame, really. And I would recommend anyone, keep an eye on the waters you fish. If you see anything to do, phone the environment agency straight away. Um, okay, so as I said, I try to give it an hour every Monday now, and we'll talk about fishing. If you've got questions, fire away. If not, just sit back, listen to what I got to ramble on about, and maybe as I say, something might come to mind you want to ask a question about. I'm not saying I got the answers to all of it because I haven't, but I give you the benefit of my experience if that's any good. As I say, fishing's been my life really, and I'm hoping that my wife, when she comes over, she was still come fishing, she'll come with me. Who's this? Oh, Danny. Again, anyway, lots of sewage in the Sevenish, is there? Yeah, yeah. Never seen so many tissues, yeah, and crap. Not, and when it's left, when it clings to the net, I know. Evesham's, what I don't understand, right? I mean, I actually caught one yesterday. One of them lady cloths, they use, those period things once a month, and I could actually cook one of them again. I always seem to catch loads of them at Evesham, but I noticed that when the water's up and in flood a little bit, catch more of them. Well, when I say catch more of them, there's more in the water, so I don't know whether the sewage is letting them out. Because what I think, this is what I think. I think that what's happened over the years is that the infrastructure hasn't grown with the population. There's more population now, isn't there, than there was like 20, 30 years ago. But the infrastructure, like the sewerage and the streets and and roads, they haven't extended them in compared with the growth of people. And this is the main problem, I think, really, when it comes to, with the pollution side of it, and I think they can't cope. And it's disgusting when you think of what the government, they'll allow sewerage companies to actually put sewers in the water, sewerage, and they're not breaking the law. This is what can you do about it, what can you do about it? I mean, as I said, I don't want to get into politics because that's it's driving me mad now. Trying to waiting 3 months, over 3 months now for a visa of my own to come over. 10 months for a passport, still haven't come. I don't know what the country's coming to, but anyway. So yeah, sorry to hear that, Danny. As I say, a lot of sewage coming down, is it? Yeah, never seen so many tissues. That's because, yeah, as I said, that's because of the bloody they're just allowing this the sewage farms, aren't they? They're just not doing anything about it. Anyway, but it was interesting because in my latest article, this magazine, I talked about one of the top pop star. I can't think of his name at the moment, but he's fighting against it, and fair dues to him. But also, there's a lot of things that is happening on the if you like, on the positive side of it. So all right. Just one other thing I forgot to mention. You may know that I got a website called Gold Medal Floats, and basically it's about it's about the idea of the website was to make it so that people can review it, right, and look at floats, because there's so many different floats on the market, and there types of ball floats, types of wagglers, types of sticks, and people even to this day are learning, and what I've learned over the years I've put together on the website. Well, I've gone one better. I've actually brought a book out on Amazon. It's got all the floats and diagrams of every single float that's imaginable. Introductions. Then I do diagrams. Just flick through this. If I can show, I'll just open a couple of pages. See diagrams, how the other float works, how they were invented. The reason why we use certain types of floats, stick floats there, whip floats, pole floats, and it even goes on to fluted floats, volley floats, and then I go on to a pole section there where I write about all the different pole bodies, what they're supposed to do in the water, how you're supposed to shot them, and so on. And as I say, it's a blueprint, and I've had a couple of orders through. It's $14.95. It's quite a thick book. It's quite heavy, and I got to send one up to Australia. Some guy ordered one to Australia. Just sent one up to a guy in Belgium. So there we are. So the world, people are looking at this worldwide. You can get them on Kindle as well, but it's not the same as having paper, is it? And something you can actually write notes in, and something you can keep as well. But there we are. That's okay. It's called the Complete Float Fishing Manual. Okay, so there. So I just mentioned that before before we sign off. Okay, right. I'm just about to finish my vlog shortly. I'm not sure if it's uploading yet. It probably won't upload until I finish this, because obviously it's all about memory on the computer, I think. And the CPR, the processing, the processor, I should say. So there we are. So as I say, I'll see you again next Monday. And what I'm going to do, I'll talk about the fishing I've done in the week, fishing for the future. And oh, by the way, again, it's in the magazine, but I've also got a Facebook page about the future events. And again, it's a little bit of competitions coming up. Where to buy your tickets, how who you got to phone, and so on. Plus, I think I'm adding to it all the time, and so that you will, like the Evesham. There's the Evesham Festival there. All the information you need. There's another one on the flyer, which is a knockout competition. I don't know if you know about that one. There's also the River Masters, the ABC River Masters. So I got a match calendar, called a match calendar. So yeah, that's for all the match anglers. Spot. Can you spot that float? I'll give you a tip. Nose is running. I got a bit of a cold coming. Yeah, so it's by the end of the pole. That's where the float is. Okay, right. That's about it, I think. Nearly an hour. Yeah, I've been want to blow my nose for a while. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, thanks for coming on, lads. And okay, I know there weren't many questions this time, but I'm sure next time round there'll be a few more. And if you want any questions, you can send it to me, message me, and I'll have them ready for next time. As I say, because this is my first one, I'm probably a bit low on content to talk about, but even so, I hope I haven't rabbited on too much. And as I say, I hope to see you on the bank. You know. In the future, hopefully. I'm actually this weekend. I'm actually up fishing on the Avon 2 days back to back. Going up on the fishing the Saturday at Twinning with Russell Millwall, and then the following day we're fishing the Evesham teams as well. That's the Cardiff Nomads. So we managed to get a team in, by the way, because. A team had dropped out, and we were fortunate to be there at the time. Like, so, Okay. Oh, nice. Hiya, Fred. Nice to see you as well. Nice to see you, Anya. And as I say, it's nice to be back. Nice to be back. Hopefully, I'll be here for the duration now, and hopefully, I can fish a little bit of white coming up in the winter. Let's see if that goes like. Oh, by the way, I went to see a bloody optician today. My eyes have gone terrible, and anyway. I don't know if you've ever been to Specsavers, but it's like a big sales conveyor belt, isn't it? You go in and they're trying to push the best glasses, and I said, no, just give me something I can see through. But I tell you what I did get is bifocal sunglasses, because that is important. Because when you're fishing and you want to see the float, and then when you bring it in, you want to be able to hook the bait or test, check hook. Then a bifocal are very important. So I've ordered a bifocal in a glass and a bifocal in the sunglasses. So yeah, and unfortunately, as you get older, your eyes do go. And I remember a very good friend of mine, Kevin Ashers, and Kevin, I remember him saying to me at Nottingham, and I was a young fella then. I was in my late 30s, late 30s, and he said the worst thing, Clive, in fishing is when your eyes go. When your eyes go, you can't, you're at a disadvantage, and you are when it comes to competition. So get yourself a good pair of glasses. That's what I can say. That's what I do. I did ask how much it has for those contact things. Those they put in your eyes. £5,000 an eye. God, I'd have to go. I tell you what I'll do. I'll take up commercial fishing, and I'll go and win that 50 grand competition. Then I could afford it, could I? I was joking. No. I don't think I could handle it. Well, don't think I handle the cab fishing. I don't know. Well, I have given it a go and I enjoy doing it. In fact, I brought out a ground bait called F1 Mix, and it's like a turmeric based, very very spicy, and the fish absolutely love it. And I've had some good reports of it. And well, just before I go, I'll tell you what happened. I was fishing a local commercial pond, and I wasn't catching a lot. People around me were catching more than me, and I looked at my bag and I thought, oh, I'm going to put some ground bait in. So I looked in, and the only ground bait I had was with this continental mix, which was turmeric and molasses. So I thought, right, I just put a little bit in. I put a couple of few balls in. Within a couple of minutes, my swim come alive, and I emptied the bloody place. Anyway, I thought, well, I wonder if that's coincidence, and those fish just turned up. Like, or was it the flavour of the ground bait? I don't know. So anyway, the following week, I did it again, and I was in another bad area, and I put it in, and it happened again. And Mike, bless his soul, he passed away now. Mike Martin was next to me, and he said, "Well, I'd never seen anything like that before." He said, "Never seen the swim come alive just by putting a bit of ground bait in," and it did. It's called F1 Mix. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Any commercial anglers out there, try it. Okay. Oh, right, James. Great to have you back on the Monday. Good. Look forward to you and the videos. Okay, cheers, James. Yeah, I know. Yeah, somebody else as well, yes, mentioned it. When am I going to put them on a solo run? Start this Monday. Okay. Well, anyway, thanks, then. Thanks for following. And as I say, we put my vlog up. It'll be up a little bit later, so you can see how we got on yesterday. I'm not going to give you any secrets away, but yeah, I'm not jumping over the moon that way. But enjoy it. That's the main thing. Enjoy it while you can. That's my motto. Okay, lads. Thanks for watching. I'll see you hopefully next week.